Rivera's friends and family are coping with the loss of the 33-year-old actress. Rivera started her career at just 5 years old on the show Family Matters before finding fame as the outspoken cheerleader Santana Lopez on Fox's hit series Glee.
A source tells people that back in the day, her life was all about her career, but once she became a mother, that changed. The source says it was all about acting, singing, using her platform for equal rights, empowerment, and anti-bullying. But her priorities shifted. She was working less, not because she didn't want to work, but because her son came first. Another source adds, you could tell she loved being a mom. She was always so sweet.
Rivera's ex-husband, Ryan Dorsey, who is the father of her 4-year-old son, Josie, is still reeling from the news. The duo were married from 2014 to 2018. A source tells us Ryan has barely slept. It's just a nightmare, although he wasn't with Naya. It's Josie's mom, and Josie needs his mom. Ryan can't imagine raising Josie without Naya. It's the most devastating situation. That's according to the source. And that source explains that Dorsey and Josie have spent every day since Rivera first disappeared with her family. It says, quote, they are all supporting each other while also taking care of Josie.
Authorities say Monday that they believe Rivera died saving Josie. The Ventura County Sheriff said at a news conference that the two were swimming together and Rivera boosted him onto the deck from behind. Josie then told authorities that he looked back and saw her disappear under the surface of the water. The sheriff said, quote, she mustered enough energy to get her son back onto the boat, but not enough to save herself. For more about this story, check out this week's issue of People, available on Friday.
What is up, you guys? It's your girl Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. And as you hear, they have found, Naya Rivera's body at Lake Piru. I believe that's how you say the name of that lake. You all know that I covered that story and pretty much gave a review of what a psychic had to say about that story. The psychic that I did a review on was called One True Tarot TV. You guys are welcome to go and subscribe to her channel. She actually did another review of this whole Naya Rivera situation. So I believe in that first psychic reading she did, she pretty much alluded to the fact that, it was suicide and Naya was unhappy. And, things haven't been going well for Naya for some time. And she also alluded to the fact of Naya may have suffered with mental illness. Okay, so before we get started, you guys, on her second reading that she did on Naya Rivera, I would just like to point out there that, all of this stuff is alleged and, the news is now reporting something completely different from what I thought and what the psychic thought. I think the psychic is pretty much sticking to her guns. But like I said, you guys, I don't know. Okay, I want to put that out there. I don't know for sure what happened to Naya. Yes, the news is saying one thing, and that could be very well true, and if it is true, you guys, that she went out like that, it's just very sad. It's very sad. I feel bad for her son. I feel bad for her child's father and her family. I really give them all of my condolences and rest in peace to you, Naya Rivera. So I wanted to get that out of the way, you guys, and put that out there first before we get started with the reading. Really quickly, before I play the reading, I think it's important for you all to understand where I was coming from and why I felt, how I felt about the situation. So I'm going to play the video. Of course, you guys won't be able to see it, but the video of her getting out of her truck, the way that she did, the way that she parked, just was very off. Now, I believe that they did not find any drugs or alcohol in her system. They still are going to have some more tests done on her. So, that was a relief. That was good to hear. But I guess we are still, as the public and her family and everybody is waiting to hear, more. Because from what I'm hearing, everything has not been reported. They're saying they didn't really see no drugs or alcohol, but, you know, they're still waiting on, you know, some other tests to come back. So we will be keeping up with this story. Let me find the video. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so I found the video. We could see her pretty much getting ready to park. She does not park straight. But maybe, you know, maybe that's just how she parked, period. You know, I don't always park my car straight. It doesn't mean that I'm drunk or, you know, maybe I didn't see the line. So, you know, but that looked very weird because everybody else's trucks and cars are parked within the lines. Hers isn't. I thought it was very strange that she got her son out of the car. Her son is like 4, I believe. And she's like walking really far away from him. Like she's leading him. And normally they do have some bags with them, you guys. But normally if you have a child, you know, you kind of want to be walking hand in hand. You know, children, you know, they like to run off. And it's just good to kind of hold their hand. I thought that was like, I don't know. I just felt like it was like weird. I don't know if I was the only person that felt that way, but you guys, that's just how I felt. I just felt like the video was a little weird. Like I stated before, I felt like they should have had some lifeguards out there. Whether these people are allowed to get boats or not, you know, somebody should always be there to help them, because from what it sounds like, a lot of people have like died at this lake and have accidentally drowned. And like, if you know that, then why wouldn't you have extra help there? Number one, why would you allow anybody to swim there? And you know, so many people have drowned. I thought that was weird. Their boats, a lot of times, you know, I realize they get unanchored. That's what I keep hearing. Her boat in particular was unanchored. I thought it was weird that her 4-year-old son was found asleep on the boat, drifting in Lake Piru. It was northwest of LA. That was strange to me. You know, if you were swimming with your mom, why are you asleep? You know, I don't know. That seems strange. Maybe all of this happened, you guys, all of a sudden. That is kind of what I'm kind of getting now. Like, this is something that happened, like, all of a sudden, you know. Another thing that was strange is Naya loved water and was a really good swimmer, right? And I don't know. It was just strange to me that she was a good swimmer, and then, you know, she couldn't get herself, you know, into the boat. You know, I guess maybe there was a struggle, you guys, you know, with getting her son on the boat. That's as much as she could do. And then, you know, the waters, you know, just were all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe she ended up like drowning like right after she put the sun on or something. Something like, for some reason, I'm kind of getting that now. Like, something all of a sudden may have happened. Okay? So there's a lot of different, you know, speculations going around. Some people say she may have drowned. That's what the news people are reporting. Some people saying it was maybe suicide. You know, certain things are not adding up. Some people feel like the child's father may have had something to do with it. You know, only time will tell. But look, he wasn't there that day. They was there by themselves. I just feel like they just shouldn't have allowed them, or anybody, I feel, to like, they should have like had a lifeguard with them. That's how I feel. Like, if they're going to allow people to swim in that lake, they should at least have some type of lifeguard with them, especially if you have a child on board, you know. So I just felt like all of that was just weird. Like, nobody checked on her until, like, nobody saw her struggling with her son. And then all of a sudden, they realized she didn't return the boat back. Now people are looking for the boat. To me, they just need to get some more plans and procedures in place, because that just is just very weird to me. Very weird. It was also weird to me she didn't have her life jacket on. The son had his on, but she didn't have hers on. And, if they give you a life jacket, you should always put it on. So, like, that would have possibly would have saved her. So, that was very weird, Okay, guys, I'm going to get ready to play the psychic, and then I believe I'm going to play another one, because she had, like, an interesting reading on this as well.
I have gotten quite a bit of feedback, right? I got some really great feedback on my review for Naya Rivera, and I've gotten some questionable feedback. So I am a reader who likes to fact check, right? So let's fact check and see if I am right or wrong about my initial reading of Naya Rivera. So, Spirit, please guide these tarot cards and show us what happened to Naya Rivera. Again, Spirit, please guide these tarot cards. And for everybody who's asking me in the comments, I am using the Illuminati Tarot deck. It's not the Illuminati that you think. These are quite positive cards in retrospect, and they're quite gorgeous too. So if you have not already, while I am shuffling this deck, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you get all my latest uploads, and you get my customized uploads of astrological signs for their monthly readings, as well as other celebrity readings. So Spirit, just one last time, please help us focus and tell us what happened with Naya Rivera. Okay, last shuffle, guys. And here we go. 5 of Swords. So, look at this. 5 of Swords is the first card out. I'm going to go based off of my initial reading, and also look at this. The 5 of Swords is coming out, and if the 5 of Swords upright is saying she took matters into her own hand. Just looking at this card, you see that there are people fighting in the background. She has all the weaponry. She has everything. She walked away from everything. Okay, look at this. The Princess of Pinnacles reversed. So guys, this card came out, I believe, the second or third card of my original reading. I will link it in the description below, as well as the end of this video. So it's evident she is the Princess of Pentacles reversed. Things have taken a turn in her life. Things were not what they were at one point. She was not getting the fun. She was not living a life that she felt that she deserved. The Sun. So everybody will say, oh, well, she's a star. This is what it is. No. Honestly speaking, Naya had a bout of narcissism. Everything revolved around her. Even her child's life and her child's being had a resolution of her. So it is saying, hey guys, like, when things around her, she was at the end of the day, when she decided to do what she did, and I'm getting resolute with this based off of the first 3 cards. It'll be up to Spirit to change my mind at this point in the remaining 6 cards that come out. But when she decided to do what she did, she thought about herself. She thought about what she was facing. She thought about what she wasn't facing. She thought about what was going on in her life. And she thought about her. Now,
really quickly, you guys, we all know the whole coronavirus has came about in just such a way and has depleted a lot of people's finances. So, there's a possibility, Naya couldn't get work. I thought that I had heard that she was getting ready to do like this new job. So I'm going to still look into that to see if she had like a new job or something coming up. But that is depressing for somebody to, always expect a certain amount of money, and now they're not receiving that money. Now we got these stay-at-home orders. I feel like it's kind of making everybody in their own way crazy. Yes, you guys, people need to wear their mask, and people need to limit where they go. But what we have to understand is we are all human, and some of us are sick and tired of being in the fucking house. That's just the nicest way that I can put it. People are sick of being in the house. People sick of missing out on life. People sick of being isolated. They want to get out. And this whole coronavirus situation is just really dangerous on another different level, because who's to say if none of this was going on, if Naya would be alive? Like if she was like able to get out and do more work, like maybe hell, she would probably still be here. But with the way this virus is set up, they keep reopening different, cities and states and stuff. They keep opening things, but they also keep closing things. And then, you got to get back home at a certain time, if you're not working. So it's just very stressful on a regular, normal person. And then you add being a celebrity to that. Glee has been off. I don't know what else she did, you guys, after Glee. I know she did have a singing career as well, and she was really talented at that too, but I don't know if that was enough, to pay the bills and to help support her to live the life, that she wanted to live. Because let's face it, when these people reach a certain financial status, they want to be able to maintain that. They don't want to say goodbye to that. She want to do different things with her son, different things for herself and her family, and she probably was unable, to do that. But yeah, like, I see some of, what the psychic is saying, I really do. Cause this whole situation with this virus could make anybody just flip, or, and I'm not saying that, if she committed suicide, oh, well, she should have did it because of what's going on. I'm not at all saying that, you guys. I'm just saying that I can see, cause it's a lot going on out here, and it's painful. It just makes you feel stuck, like things are never gonna get better, so Naya was a young lady. What was she? Just a few years younger than me, so we don't know, maybe she got impatient with things. Maybe she was not happy with her life. I thought that the whole going to get out on a boat with her son was a bit weird. I don't know if it's just me that thought that, but I know that's not something I would have did. But she loved swimming, she loved those type of things. So maybe, it was a fun day out, to her. Maybe that's how she spent her time with her son, and she has every right to do that. I know just for me, I'm not about to be managing no damn boat by myself. I don't care how small it is. I just, no. And then how the boats end up unanchored and all of that too. No. And then I heard those waters out there can be deep, and it's easy to drown, and like, child, I couldn't do it.
Even in her last act of seeing her son before she decided to do what she did, because you have a choice up until you do your actions. Keep that in mind. She absolutely was thinking about herself. Look at that, the moon, guys. The moon is out. So you got the sun and the moon. A lot of people will be turning her disappearance / demise into esoterical meanings. There was an esoterical meaning, but the meaning is strictly based on her and her actions at this point, right? The moon she showed a whole nother side to herself by this action. A lot of people thought that they knew Naya, they knew of Naya, and she's completely showing a different action. The moon transforms things, right? The moon what does the moon do? It turns men into werewolves, right? It turns docile animals into beasts. If you listen to folklore, that's exactly what the moon does. Guys, the Hanged Man came out. Please look at my original one because the Hanged Man came out. Guys, this is how they're gonna find her. And I had definitely prayed on this deck. I prayed about this reading before doing it. I am so happy and saddened that this card came out because I truly believe in all that mess that she was carrying when she wasn't like tending to her son in that surveillance. She had some kind of anchor, some kind of weight. When they find her body, this is how they're going to find her. She weighed herself down. Please know this. And I am so sorry to be the person to say it. I'm so sorry that people aren't, because I've got a lot of people saying I refuse to believe she did it to herself. The Hanged Man has come out twice. But the Hanged Man has come out in the position that I prayed about. This is what happened, guys. Look at this. The Two of Wands reversed. The Two of Wands reversed. She truly felt that she had no other rationale. She had no other reasoning. She had no other choice, which is beyond the truth, right? The truth of the matter is she did have a choice. The truth of the matter is she did have other options, but in her head, in her brain, she did not.
And that's where the mental illness comes in. Do I know for a fact Naya Rivera had mental illness? No, this is all speculation. This is all from observation, from, looking at her in different interviews. And then I think that one video kind of did it for me. The one where she had attacked the husband and she had got arrested and had to go see the judge. Just the look she had on her face. Now, she could have been freaked out, you guys, from dealing with the situation with Ryan Dorsey. There's no telling what he was saying and doing to her, but from her being arrested, I would have to think, she was the aggressor. And we do know women that do commit domestic violence amongst men. It's not something we see every day, but it's not to say that it does not happen. But just if you watch that video, you guys kind of watch that video, it just says so much, without even saying a lot, really. It really says a lot. But then we have the whole thing with Big Sean and him dragging her and saying for years, she was crazy. And, a lot of people in the media, I didn't really listen to that. I do like that song he came out with, that I Don't F With You song. I do like that song, but it's been speculated that he was talking about Naya and she's crazy. And, she was supposed to marry him. Apparently he cheated on her with Ariana Grande. And then her wedding date, she never canceled the wedding date that she had with Big Sean. She ended up marrying Ryan Dorsey. So, So, do you see what I'm saying? She had a lot of failed relationships that, just didn't work out. That could weigh a woman down after a certain point, because it's like, damn, I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to have a family. Because once you have a child, you guys, I don't care who you are, for the most part, you're going to want a family. You're going to want somebody to raise your kid with. You kind of want to be under the same roof, or, do family things together. So that was something that, she had to let go of, when she ended up divorcing Ryan Dorsey. And she had filed for divorce twice, but she ended up sticking to it the second time. They ended up divorced. It's kind of like I'm getting older and, nothing is kind of working out for me. I could see a lot of that,
Look at this, the Ten of Cups. Again, guys, this came out, so you guys know that these cards are reflective of how Naya was thinking and Naya was feeling. She wanted that family, and that family was just in her head, was never going to come for her. And that is so sad to say in here. She wanted something that she felt she could not have, and she felt that in the next life, in the afterlife, she could start anew. A lot of people do believe in reincarnation. If you see all those little sappy dog movies, that's exactly what that is. That's reincarnation. I'm not trying to hip you to something new. I'm trying to hip you to something that's evident. She truly believes she could start anew with her actions. Look at this, guys. The Five of Wands reverse. She got tired of fighting. And again, if you look at my original video, and again, I'm going to link it below. I hate referring back, but I just want people to know that the energy that's there is there. It's not going away. She got tired of fighting. She didn't want to fight with her ex anymore. She didn't want to fight with the public. She was about to face something that she did not want to. And if you want to know what that's about, just click on my Ghislaine Maxwell video. That's all I'll say about it. I am going to wait for some more circumstantial evidence to come out, but I truly believe that her, Taj Mowry, Macaulay Culkin, a lot of child actors from the 90s and early 2000s have been victims of that ring. And that's all I'll say. Last one. Princess of Wands. Again, reverse. Princess of Wands, Princess of Pinnacles. She was down on her luck as financials go. She was down on her luck in life. She was just done, guys. I hate to say it, but...
Okay, you guys, really quickly before we get to the other psychic, I would like to read out of my birthday book about Naya Rivera and her birthday and what it stands for. Okay, her birthday is January 12th. So that makes her a Capricorn, and it says the day of the wild call. It says those born on January 12th are inevitably drawn toward an all-evolving professional life. Their career or life interest usually exerts its hold on them in their 20s, and they are capable of sacrificing a great deal for it, particularly in terms of personal inward growth. They may see their lives as dedicated to serving others, but in fact, they are drawn to excitement and achievement and adventure of all sorts, which may or may not include others in a personal sense. Once they become obsessed with their calling, they follow wherever it leads them. Because their career holds such a central place in their lives, January 12th people must choose their work carefully and avoid being detoured into experiences hurtful to themselves and others. Maintaining a strict set of ethical principles consonant with traditional human values is vitally important in this respect. Both self-sacrificing impulses, on the one hand, and egotistical power drives on the other must be monitored closely lest they get out of control. Many born on this day are very prone to identifying themselves with a cause, often social or political in nature, for which they are willing to give up a large measure of their personal identity. On the other hand, some January 12th people can be completely absorbed into themselves when it is their own personality or image which is crucial to the success of their professional plans. For instance, when selling a product or in particular promoting their own freelance services, PR, advertising, acting, and skills of this sort. Indeed, if their project should fall through, they are liable to take such setbacks very hard. Okay, so let's look at the strengths of this birthday. The strengths are that she would have been very professional, inspirational, and committed. Her weaknesses: self-sacrificial, Wow, okay. Preoccupied and unheeding. Okay, let's pay attention to the advice that the book gives her. Pay more attention to your personal life and maintain a strong ethical code. Remember to listen to others. Beware of arrogance or condescension. Don't go off the deep end professionally. Your work is only one part of your life. And her meditation is the highest calling, perhaps, is to be true to oneself. Let's look at the tarot. The 12th card of the major arcana is the Hangman, who dangles by his foot in a head down position. Though such a position seems helpless, the Hangman is nevertheless spiritually powerful and deeply thoughtful. The positive attributes of this card are recognizing limitations and overcoming them, as well as simply being human. Negative aspects are spiritual myopia and restrictedness. Okay, you guys, so the next psychic is Melissa Adriana. You guys make sure to support and subscribe to her channel. I found her reading to be very interesting. What made it very interesting to me is, number one, she doesn't feel like it was a suicide. I think she believes it was a freak accident. And that is what, the media is reporting. I also thought it was weird that she said something that I had always thought, but I had never spoke to you all about. I never mentioned it in my other video, but it was a thought that was in my mind. I always felt like Naya was in love with Big Sean still. I know he has been with, what is that girl? Janae Aiko. I know he, was messing with her, and he's been with Ariana Grande. She married her husband, Ryan Dorsey. I understand all of that, you guys, but sometimes even when we choose to marry other people, we still can have a deep love in our heart for another person. And that whole "I don't fuck with you" song, as much as I like it, he fucked with her, okay? Like, I really think he really cared for that girl. For him to go in, like, deep like that in that song, I always felt that, and I always felt like a strong connection with those two, like she really cared for him, and she felt, like, played by him. I'm gonna be getting her book, you guys. She has this book out. Go support Naya Rivera's book, Sorry Not Sorry. You can get it at your local library if you can't afford to get it right now, but I will be reading it, and I'm just curious to see, what she has to say about him. But I always felt like they had this connection, like she was still, had feelings for him, or, didn't like how things ended with the two of them, I should say. And I always felt like he had a love for her, but I think when they had got together, you guys, he was new to the industry, and the whole being a man and I gotta have this woman, I gotta be over here. I felt some of that energy coming from Big Sean. That's just what I saw, but I'm gonna let the psychic come in, you guys, and say what she has to say. But I thought that was very interesting that she brought up something that I had thought for a while about these two.
Strong tie with her to her child. This is a woman who was, severely in a dark place, okay? Like depression. Like when her son came in, though, it's like it was the cure that she needed. I don't know why. Like this woman, I'm getting the vibe that like it was like the energy, that it was like she always felt like she was taking care of everybody else. But when it was like her son that came in, it was like he gave her what she needed. Like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, that's kind of what I was picking up strongly when I drew this. She was always giving to everyone, like her family, like her friendships. I don't feel like she felt like she would, was getting, what she needed from others. But there's something about this little boy when he came in, like it just, she was happy, okay? She was happy. This reading here, it's going to be a little all over the place. Just bear with me. It's a lot of information. This here represents to me, that depression. But I'll tell you, like, when she was, like, on that boat, like when I pick up on her energy of her on that boat, she had released all that, okay? It was released. And there's going to be a reason why I'm saying this in the beginning, okay? I don't believe that this was a suicide. Do not write me comments, please, about other readers that are saying it. So everybody has entitled to their own, gifts and, card readings and, tarot readings that they do. This is my tarot reading. I personally just don't feel like this is a suicide. She loved her son too much. There was no way she was going to go out there that day with that intention to, kill herself while her son was there. It just would be, she loved that boy too much, anything could have happened to that little boy,
And I just feel like that would have been really selfish of her to do something like that. I know that the son loved water and boats, but I would hope that, she wouldn't feel that bad, with her life circumstances, that she would, involve him, So I could kind of see that.
If she would, as a mom, like you're thinking, okay, I'm going to do this, your child's left behind. No, not on a lake. Okay. I'm just not seeing that. I'm picking up very strongly that, there's something with the current. The reason why that they can't find her body right now is because she's caught somewhere deep. And that's why, they're not finding her. I don't know anything about this, lake or this part of the area. I'm not even from the States. I have no idea. I never ever heard of this place. There's something with this lake. There's a lot of stuff down there. I'm seeing, I don't even know what the proper terminology for this stuff is, but I'm seeing a lot of, weeds or seaweeds or, things that you can get tangled in. I'm feeling like her body is trapped, okay? And, with that being said, I feel very strongly that she's not with us anymore, okay? The fact that this death card's here.
This is before you guys, they had found her body. This lady had did this reading.
I know it's hard for some people, these kind of things, we call them tragedies, but it was her time. It was her time, okay?
And it's very weird that she says that. I have a piece about her, you guys. I feel really bad for what happened to her, but I just feel like she's peaceful now. I do have that feeling. Whereas when other people may have died or got killed, like with Nipsey Hussle, it was just different. I felt really bad for him. He was murdered, So I just felt the way very differently how I felt, with her. I feel some peace with this situation. I still feel bad for her life ending quickly the way that it did. She was still young. She was a mom. It was still more that she had set out to accomplish, but she accomplished a lot though, you guys, in her 33 years is what I'm trying to say. So she did make the most of the time, she did have here.
I'm not suspecting any foul play with anyone. I don't feel like she was killed or murdered. I feel like she put her child up there and she wanted to swim a little bit more. And, something happened. Something like, those freak accidents. I'll tell you, I used to be a court reporter and I had a case one time. I don't want to get into too much of the detail because I'm not allowed to talk about those kind of things, but there was a freak accident in a pool with a grown boy. He was probably 24, 25, and he was a great swimmer and he drowned. And even the autopsy came back and they couldn't find out what happened. These freak accidents are very real.
And that makes a lot of sense because Naya was a known swimmer. She could swim really well, but just because she could swim well doesn't mean that she didn't drown,
I want you to know that everything is part of something, okay? So it was very much, her time to go. But with that being said, the last 4 years of her life were spent happily, okay? all because of that little boy that came in, okay? You are gonna hear news. You know, they will find her. I don't feel like it's going to be that diving crew or whoever, you know, they have looking for her. This is like a side note. Sean, that big Sean guy, he was the love of her life. So when I'm picking up on her mental state, even though I don't feel like, you know, she was in a depression or anything, like, that was the love of her life, though. The guy that she was with, you know, the man that she was married to, that she had this boy with, like, he was very much like a soulmate. Like, it was like, okay, like in a friendship, that friendship kind of like soulmate kind of thing. But like the love of her life was Sean, Big Sean. So that was so random that came up. But like, she was still feeling the pain from that separation. I know it's kind of bizarre. Another thing I need to talk about here is that this little boy is not going to be like traumatized by anything. I don't know, like, I can't pick up on exactly what happened, but the way it happened, like, it's not like, it was like almost like it was, oh, I hate to say this, but like, I want to say like the perfect time, like the 4-year-old age. Like, he's not going to understand what happened or have any kind of bad memories or something. It was just like how he said in, you know, what they're writing in the interview, like, she jumped off and she didn't come back. Like, he's not, some people are very worried about, you know, how he's going to do. He's not, it was, this freak accident, it was kind of, in a way, as peaceful as it could have been, okay? But like I said, I'm not picking up that this was a suicide. Like I said, like, this woman was very much like happy, okay, before her death. And it's all to do with, you know, the fact that she was a mother. Like, her son was everything. And I don't feel like it's going to take her some time on the other side to understand what the hell happened, because she was so happy, okay? But there are people that will meet her there. And I'm getting very strongly that guy, the guy who committed suicide, not the one who was charged with the pornography, but the other guy. I don't know these people too well, but that's what I was picking up, is that it's not the boyfriend that she was dating that was into the child pornography. It's the other guy who died. The one who was like found in Vancouver or something. Like, he will meet her, and, you know, amongst other people, like, we're never, when we go to the other side, we're never alone, okay? But it's gonna be hard, okay, for her to grasp the fact that, you know, she's gone. You know, she was 33. Sometimes souls take some time on the other side to realize, okay, like, wow, like.
All right, you guys, we have ran out of time on that last reading. You guys pretty much get the gist of what she's saying. Put down in the comments what you believe happened. Do you feel like it was suicide, or do you believe what this psychic is saying and what the media is saying is that, you know, she was pretty much trying to save her son before she drowned? And I believe, how I believe is somewhere in the middle. I don't feel like she was all that happy in her life. This psychic is saying she was, but I don't know. I'm just putting things together, you guys. I could be wrong, but to me, I'm just not getting that, you know, she seemed to be, you know, all that happy with her life. And I do kind of feel like maybe a freak accident could have happened, something like really quick. You know, who's to say, you know? But get down in the comments, you guys. Let me know how you felt about the two psychic readings. Which one do you believe more? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, Brand New, and I will check you guys out later.